Welcome to City Hall, your historic seat of government here in Winston-Salem. It's always fun to have an event such as this as we're celebrating the great work of our staff and the great work of the community, our partners who've been working on this whole issue. Today, we're delighted that we'll be recognizing our Planning and Development Department for an award that they have received from the International Code Council for the work on really changing the process, improving the process for change of use. For those of you in the building community and developer community, you know, sometimes that's a dreaded word, isn't it? But working with a task force from the realtors, from the builders, from architects, our staff, and others, we were able to come up with a pretty smooth system there. And Dan's probably going to say a little bit more about that at some point about how that all works. But it really gives entrepreneurs an opportunity to come in, get a little quick peek at what a change of use might look like. You know, would it work? And before they spend a heck of a lot of money, which is always a good thing, Steve, as you know. So we're just delighted that we have received this award. We're a pretty good company. They were the top 5 jurisdictions that received this award. We were number 1, I think. No, we were in the top 5 anyway. Los Angeles, California was in there. The state of Utah, building officials, Peoria, Illinois, and then Port St. Lucie, Florida. So we were in pretty good stead there with that group. So on my part there, I just want to thank and congratulate all of you who worked on it. Paul Norby, our recently retired planning director, is back and kind of helped push that level forward. Chris Murphy is here and help push all that forward. Bucky, and then Dan, Dan Dockery. I choked up on you there, Dan. Sorry. And so many in here. But I'm just so proud as the mayor of this city that we came together and figured out a way to get things done. So at this point, I'm just very delighted to introduce to you Stephen Jones, who is the former ICC president and now is the ICC Government Relations Regional Manager. And Steve, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you introduce other guests that are here and make some comments.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, everyone. I am at the point now I can no longer speak off the cuff. I do have to read from notes, so you bear with me. Mayor, Jones, very close. Okay. Thank you, Mayor Jones, for the gracious introduction. I want to thank you and the rest of the council for allowing me the opportunity to appear before you today to celebrate Dan and his department's accomplishments. I'm joined here today by ICC Board of Director member Chris Bridges, and we also want to extend congratulations from ICC Board member Donnie Phipps, who unfortunately was unable to join us today. Donnie would have been the board member who was responsible for North Carolina, but unfortunately he had another commitment. Also, I want to send greetings from ICC Senior Vice President of Government Relations Sarah Yerkes and ICC Board of Director President Dominic Sims. Sarah made the original presentation to Dan during our annual business meeting in Richmond earlier this year at the Government Relations Forum, where he received his plaque in front of several hundred of his colleagues. So what makes Dan so great? Well, it certainly wasn't the $5 he offered me earlier to say nice things about him, but let me see what I can do. You're so cheap. I just want to take a moment to put this in perspective for those of you who may not know exactly what the ICC does. The International Code Council is the association that creates and promulgates the family of construction codes used across all 50 states and 55 foreign countries, and not to mention all the federal government buildings and U.S. military installations worldwide. The ICC family of codes currently serves as the basis of the codes here used in North Carolina. Dan is one of ICC's 65,000 members spread across 350 chapters worldwide. So to be recognized and selected for an award from the ICC is truly a notable accomplishment and not to be taken lightly. Dan and his staff were selected out of numerous other notable candidates who were also nominated for this award. However, the selection committee felt that Dan's accomplishments and insight in coming up with an inventive way to deal with changes of use issues and building evaluations was not only innovative, but certainly worthy of recognition. However, Dan will tell you he did not earn this award on his own, nor did his department. Instead of operating in a vacuum, they approached the problem with a sense of cooperation and a sincere interest in coming up with a viable and until now untested solution. Dan put together a comprehensive team that spanned the range of all interested stakeholders, from realtors to design professionals, legislators, builders, contractors. That, in and of itself, is a Herculean task. And as a former code official with over 25 years in the business, I know the effort they put forth to make this work. Regardless, Dan prevailed. Even when things may have gotten a little dicey at times, he understood the overall process was much larger than just he or his own department. However, regardless of his efforts, it would not have been possible without the commitment of you, Mayor, and your administration, who have continually shown support of his efforts. Far too often, code departments are often seen as the impediment to successful development. However, a well-staffed and respected department can be a community's greatest asset and a huge driver of economic development. The sooner permits can get issued and tenants or homeowners can get into a building, the sooner ratables get on the tax rolls, and what once may have been a blighted or abandoned building may now have a new life and a new purpose. To quote Dan from his nomination application, listen to this, I did not write this, Dan did. Since the process was started, we have performed over 215 building evaluations, issued more than 500 zoning complex permits, and more than 400 zoning simple permits, if a zoning permit is ever simple. To that end, the result is that these buildings are occupied sooner and often with less expense, giving the owners a greater chance of success and putting people to work quicker. Also, because the outreach began with a mutually understood process, the communications are usually honest, direct, and impactful. ICC's mission charges our body to provide the highest quality codes, standards, and products and services for all concerned with the safety and performance of the built environment. This program allows us to further that mission by using our training, our codes, and our experience and dedication to be ambassadors for the safe, productive, and profitable use of the buildings in our community. It doesn't get any better than that. From now on, I'm going to have you write my speeches. In closing, success is not found in a silo, and only through cooperation and forward thinking will a construction department truly succeed. Dan and his staff and his associated partners epitomize what it means to be true professionals. And therefore, it takes me great pleasure in presenting Dan Dockery and his staff and his partners the 2018 ICC Innovation in Code Administration Award. Congratulations, Dan. And your partners. Good job, buddy. All right? Now, somebody better document this auspicious occasion. All right?
The most important thing he said was, this is not in a vacuum. And I can look at every single one of you. This wasn't earned in a vacuum. I can look at every single one of you. The original members of the Change of Use Task Force, who we sat in that room on Tuesday mornings once a month for 2 years and argued. The people who allowed us to come into their places of business and use them as guinea pigs. And you know, when an inspector comes, you say, oh my goodness, what are they going to find? And so we had to reach understandings and shake hands and say, we're not going to find anything except a way to help. And that's what we did. And we've got fire here. We've got HBA, state and local. We've got the Winston-Salem Regional Association of Realtors. We have the Commercial Realtors Alliance. We've got our commercial building partners in town. We've got our residential building partners in town. We've got zoning people, and they're all here. And they decided back in 2009 to shake hands and start a process that has resulted in bringing Winston-Salem an award that belongs to all of us, that belongs to the community. And all of us are the luckiest people in the world. From the time we get up in the morning, every single person in this room has an opportunity to look around at what a community needs and figure out 10 things they can do that day that are going to make a difference in that community. Guys, we've been successful at that. If just this one time, it counts. It's a launching pad. It's a springboard for the next good idea. And I've got every confidence in the world that at some point in time, we'll get another one that does just as much as this one did. And that's why I'm the luckiest guy in the world, because I know I've got such wonderful people to show me the way. And because of that, first change of use committee members, the first people at those first meetings, please stand up. Ken, you were there. Stand up. Chris, you were there. Stand up. Sitting in a room, 9 o'clock on Tuesday mornings and arguing with one another. And this was an offshoot of another earlier effort called the DRAC Committee. Members, stand up. Councilmember McIntosh. And Nancy's already standing. Y'all pick on Nancy. She was late. Oh, my goodness. No, I'm picking on you. But these are the people you have to really thank for this, because it's encouragement, it's holding one another to a better standard, it's using their minds, creativity, and our love of our hometown to make things better. And so, again, thank you. I'm the luckiest guy in the world, y'all. It's because of y'all. And everybody stand up. Please, for gosh sakes, do.
Steve, and thank you for being here today to present this award to Dan. And as Dan said, most everyone in the room played a role in that. So thank you on behalf. I neglected to introduce Councilmember Jeff McIntosh from Northwest Ward, who's been also a realtor, and he knows the change of use issues and worked hard on it. So thank you all for coming. Thanks for making Winston-Salem a better place. Have a great day.
As I do, I always forget something. ICC board members, former and present. On behalf of our Planning Development Services Department, we'd like to offer both of you a little gift to take with you. This is Winston-Salem's architectural history. It's a marvelous document that shows us from our infancy until today. And in the built environment, this is the golden standard for where a community can go. Complete with a lot of pictures, because I know inspectors don't.